Hello?
When getting accepted
Oh
arcs,
my hi. Yep. Hello everybody. Oh my gosh, it's our live show. I'm going to tweet this out really quick, but I'm very excited for everybody to be here. So, welcome. Yes. Um Sword of Kaigen. I guess let's chat about that, shall we? Oh my goodness. Whew, let me just Okay. So I gave Sword of Kaigen 5 stars, and it was actually really good and probably a lot better than I actually thought. And I guess I'm saying this because it was good. I mean, yeah, of course it was good. I mean, yes, right? Yes, it was good, and even I knew that. Um, I definitely think it was better than I thought, just because I wasn't expecting the greatness behind everything, I guess you could say. Definitely not expecting the greatness, which is like the one thing that I was like, kind of like about, because was I expecting it? Of course not, right? There were so many events that happened throughout the Sword of Kaigen, and I felt very, very emotional throughout everything. I couldn't figure out what I really truly wanted to do in this book. And I have all my notes and everything whatever out. I bought the ebook on Amazon because that was the only way I could get it. It was not on script. I say script. It was not on script. It was not in my library. And it wasn't on. That's it. I think those are the only platforms I could find. Yeah, because my library for Libby and whatnot is scribed, and I don't usually buy Audible books, so I could forget about that. So the only way I read it was Amazon, and so I have my notes and everything, which is fine. I don't mind, but I feel like the Sword of Kaigen was definitely not the book you would take a lot of notes on. For me, I just couldn't do the notes for it. I mean, I have 8 total notes, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 notes, and maybe two ish, two, three text notes, 8 highlights, 2 notes, right? Yeah, something like that. But like, I don't know. It was a great book, lovely, amazing, simply amazing, but definitely something that I didn't take notes on a lot. Um, definitely it was just such a. This book was so like, okay. There are obviously gonna be spoilers, so because we're discussing a book, So I just definitely was not expecting Mamoru, the main character, and just to die. I was not expecting any of that. Um, Although I found it very interesting that Mamoru's mother, Misaki, lived, and I think it's just so sad because like just her eldest son as well, it's so sad to like see your child just, it's like that was the saddest part for me. I was like, I couldn't handle it, and I don't know how to feel, and I felt sad. Uh, and they didn't even know that he used the Whispering Blade at the very end, which is so sad because it's like they were expecting him to all his life because it's a Matsuda thing. Is that Matsuri? I don't know. It's a part of the family, and they didn't even know because they weren't there to see it. And it's like, it's one of those things where you're like, it's just so sad, and it's like, you're like, but I'm really glad that at least Misaki, like, she's really powerful. Mamoru really gets it from both Takeru and Misaki, which is great because they were described as cold and not like mean or anything, but like because of their family bloodline, they're like they have that cold aura, or I don't know what it's called, but that was the thing that Misaki said when her boys were born, they were cold. Um, it was either super cold or like cold, but still cold just because it was part of like the family, and that it was just, and then I don't know. I was just I've this is definitely the first time where the main character for me died, and then the story kind of was. I mean, the story was told in dual point of view. Matsuda, no, Mamaru and his mother Misaki, and then obviously Misaki took over, right? So I wasn't really expecting that. This is the first book that I've ever read to really have that happen. I will have to say though, I was not expecting the detail behind like first off, I really really liked the history. The history was by far my favorite out of all. It was simply great. I really love especially just watching like the history behind everything. Just I fully enjoy reading history. That's one of my favorite things. I don't like being in a history class. I just love being I just love reading history and the history behind the Sword of Kaigen. Not really the Sword of Kaigen, but like Kaigen itself was so cool. I really enjoyed reading just all the stories behind like the battles and the history behind where they lived. It was just really cool. That was something I really enjoyed. And I have to say it's really well written. It's really in depth as well. And I was just very pleased, I guess. I really enjoyed all the aspects, the fighting, anything with fighting, I think I just really enjoy. And so I really enjoyed the fighting. And I mean, yeah, it was really sad and I couldn't get over any of it. But it was really cool, especially Misaki. Her fighting, it's like, she's a mother of four, and she fought so many bad men or the enemy, the Kaganese, and it was just or the Ranganese. I mean, I finished it yesterday and I straight up, or yeah, yesterday, and I just don't even, I never remember anything. But it was so, like, you're like a mother of four, you haven't fought in years, and then all of a sudden you just, you know, just kill a bunch of bad men, though. Bad men. It's not like she just went on a murder spree or anything. I'm cold, so don't mind me. But I really I'm just so impressed. ML Wong definitely got my attention with this book, which is definitely why I rated this 4 stars. 5 stars, not four, sorry. I gave this book 5 stars because it was just, the detail behind everything and just the way it was written, it's just the language. They incorporated it was very Japanese, but it also took a lot with like other Asian languages. I feel like, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, and obviously they're, I believe, created language. Yes, I might be wrong, so just don't quote me on that, but it was great. I love languages in the book where they talk about it, right? And I love the incorporation with just different languages from everywhere, and then, you know, obviously reading the translation because I don't know it, right? But it was just great. There were so many great things about this, and I was like, yeah, yeah, I enjoyed that. Yep. I'm just gonna ooh. Okay. And let me drink water first because I'm thirsty. I'm about to run out of water real soon, and I don't know what to do. But the one thing, I'm gonna go in order. I don't. Okay. Oh, ooh, what is going on? I wrote a review, and apparently that disappeared. Where did it go? I'm very confused. Yeah, I don't know. Goodreads is very confusing. I'm very confused because I had a review on it, like a really, really good, really well written review, and now it's disappeared. I read this on Amazon. There's this feature on Amazon where you can like send in your 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 review, and when people are buying it, then you can like, I don't know what you call it. People can see it on Amazon when they're buying the book. But for me, I wrote a review and now it's gone because it was replaced by the Kindle thing. And now because the other day, yesterday when I was writing it, the Kindle thing didn't show up. God, it really, really angers me when that happens. It was, nah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And I can't even see it anymore because it is gone, pretty much. This is heartbreaking on my end, 100%. Oh my god. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way Goodreads does their reviews. I love Goodreads and posting it, but then, like, it's not my actual review anymore because I wrote it and now I can't. Oh. All right, this is making me irritated. I have to. Hmm. This is why I should just write all my reviews offline and then copy and paste it. Whether it's, I mean, I usually do that, and that's the stupid thing. Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't realize that it would do that. And I feel kind of sad, to be honest. um, yeah, I didn't save it. I only saved the link. I have a Notion board with all the books that I read, and almost all I started like mid September or something. Now I'm gonna have to rewrite it 'cause I feel so stupid. I didn't realize that Goodreads would just do that. I'm a little angry because it just straight up replaced every single review that, I mean, not every single review. It just replaced the whole review that I had. Like, at least tell me you're gonna do that. Now I have to rewrite my whole thing, and now it's making me kind of irritated. Like, Just tell me, tell me, right? Like, I realize it's probably my fault that I like did that, but like I had a review. This is tasked. It's really annoying. I am annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. Yeah. But I guess we can sit here and watch me write a review. I don't know, but all right. Let's talk about my highlights. The first highlight I wrote was Misaki pulled her Gia, pulling the surrounding water molecules to her hand and froze them into a makeshift sword. Okay, this is funny because I didn't realize any of like the powers or any of it behind oops behind the Sword of Kaigen. So when I read it, I was like, wait, water bending? Because it was really cool. Like, what the heck? I was not expecting, first off, just any of the powers that they had. I knew like about the whispering blade, and I realized all of that, but then I just didn't realize quite much how powerful and how many powers there really are in this book. It's shocking. It's really truly incredible. You know, that's impressed. I'm impressed. Oh my! I was really impressed just by like I know there's specific, especially in the town where Mamoru and Misaki are on. I don't know the island name, of course I don't, but it was just really impressive seeing all the way, the ice and then everything else. It's very very impressive, and I just was not expecting any of it. So that's why that's why the highlight was like, wait, water bending? Because like to me there was water bending, and it probably is. There probably is water bending, and you know, right? It's just something that it's just really impressive how there's so many aspects to the book, and then, it's just like it's shocking, especially reading it. And then okay, the next highlight I did was this like history kind of thing. It's at 4% because I went by percentage, I think. Ryohon tradition claimed that the great families of Kusanagi were descended from the ocean gods who had dwelt in the Sea of Kaigon at the dawn of time. Really cool, really really cool. Most people of the peninsula regarded this part of their tradition as more metaphor than fact. Logically, there was no way human beings could be the direct descendants of titanic fish and sea dragons. But like many Matsudas before him, Mamoru experienced surges of madness, which is kind of freaky, but also kind of cool, when the feeling of his Jia consumed him. In those moments, he knew that the power rolling through his body was born from the ancient forces that had raised Kaigon from the sea. It was more than faith, it was fact. How cool is that quote? I mean, yeah, it's a little bit long, but yeah, it was very impressive. I was very impressed. I was thoroughly impressed by the way underscore Sword of Kaigen left me feeling, which is true. I'm also rewriting my review, which kind of sucks, but I was thoroughly impressed by the way the Sword of Kaigen left me feeling. I never. It was truly well written. For I feel like all the books that Asians Under a Typhoon books that we've read so far, because we started in August, right? It's just so impressive how many good books there were. Because like I rated them pretty good. I can I can go to my things. I can I have a bookshelf on Goodreads full of my past all the books I read for Asians Under a Typhoon. Like the Poppy War for December was very good. I really enjoyed that. I mean, almost everybody who read it did, right? And I'm also interested in reading the other books. And then Little Fires Everywhere. I don't remember, and I think I'm gonna have to reread that, but it was good. You know, Of Curses and Kisses, The Weight of Our Sky, great. Crazy Rich Asians, there was just different things. Just they were all very good. We have a mixed range. We got 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. I'm just really impressed by the way we've been choosing books, which is, by the way, almost all of you guys chose. I mean, no, all of you guys did choose the books. I was just the person giving you guys, like, choose these 4 books and choose. So it's just, these books are terrific. And I don't know what to say. You guys are very impressed. Just very impressive. Like the Poppy War, all I would hear about it is on Twitter, and just like how great it is. I've seen art for it, which is amazing. And then the Sword of Kaigen, this is like since like December after our live show, that was when I started to discover the Sword of Kaigen. And that was when I was like, we should I should add this to the list. And I knew that so many people were going to choose this. But it was just so impressive because it's like you guys are like a huge force, and then you guys choose what you guys want to read, and it's so impressive because it's like, wow, it's just wow, but it was great. It's really impressive. Like Twitter's just too powerful in my opinion. It's like it's way too powerful. There's so many things about Twitter that's just like, like, give me a minute, please. It's amazing, and it's like, oh, I don't like. It was just great. Hold on, you can see your past reviews, right? Let me go. I'm still on this thing, but one of the other ones. Oh, one of the other quotes. Well, oh yeah, we're talking about the 4%, the quote with the history behind it. It was so cool. Like I feel like almost all books have their history behind it, but then the Sword of Kaigen just had this thing, that the history behind it. I don't know how ML Wong does it. It's so impressive. Just the way, everything, the history. It's great. It's great because like there are just different things about the way the history it like happens, right? And then you're really not expecting how in depth the process is on 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 the history. It must have taken her like days, weeks, months, even. I'm not sure. But it's like, how do you think of it? How do you think of this sort of history behind it? You know? Like, how are you expecting all of this? You're not, how are you expecting? No. How are you thinking of this, and how are you saying this would be perfect for my next book? It's so, how do authors do that? I'm writing, right? I write, but it's so, the books that are published, it's incredible. The Sword of Kaigen, the history behind it, it was just beyond incredible. And I am shocked because it's like, you're just not expecting it, and then when you actually read it, it's like unexpected. It's so unexpected, and I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing this, reading it, not doing this. I had a lot of fun reading all of the whole book. It was incredible. And let's go to my next highlight because I think I'm done doing the history. 5%. Because I know you, Mamoru-kun, Yukino Sensei said, beyond your lineage and your raw power, in the space of time it takes a normal boy to grasp a technique, you've already improved it and expanded it to all its potential applications and then some. Like the power behind the Matsuda family and like almost all the families, right? It's like they're like, obviously they have weaknesses, but then you're reading it and it's like, do they really have weaknesses? Do they have any of this? Because you're just not expecting any of the like history. No, not history. Yeah, the history behind the families. You're reading it and you're like, wow. The whole time I was like, wow. That's not the point. But like the power behind the Matsuda family and how Mamoru was practicing to become powerful. And obviously, he was practicing the Whispering Blade. And, obviously, before he died, he obviously used the Whispering Blade, which makes me sad because nobody knew but him and obviously the readers, which doesn't even count. Like, his parents didn't know. His father probably could have been super proud of him if he knew, if he was there. I don't know. Obviously he wasn't there, right? But it was just, I don't know. It just so great. Let's continue that quote. It's rather annoying as your teacher. and then and then he cuts in, sorry about that. But I and then he says, continues, but I have no doubt that it is precisely that kind of ingenuity that gave rise to the Whispering Blade in the first place. A student like you who can absorb what he is told but also think beyond it is capable of anything. Like that is some high praise. That is some high praise. And it's so cool because they're all like, it's a small town. They obviously know each other really, really well. It's so incredible how they're all connected, by the way, generations upon generations, and they know each other super well. Their parents know each other, their grandparents know each other, their great grandparents, continuing on and on and on. Like, what do you say to that kind of thing where it's like Yukino-san, Yukino Sensei is just like a great teacher, and it's just I was just beyond impressed. And I didn't write that many highlights, which I feel like I should have, but then I don't know. I guess I didn't. Probably good idea that I didn't. But It was really good. And the fact that Takeru, Takeru, I don't know. That was weird. The fact that his father, Takeru, was like really cold and really just in one direction in the beginning of the book. It's and then by the time like the book the book ends, Misaki kind of came through with his father and was like, "Look, can you just stop?" Kind of thing. And then Misaki and Takeru, they really worked well together. Yeah, they were very cold to each other, especially to Takeru to Misaki. He was really cold to her in the very beginning, but then the way that she fought, because it's like, you're not discovering anything until you feel like the grief, I guess, or the grief, the set, like death. Once you face death, it's like your eye opens. And I feel like in that was the situation that happened when Mamoru died. Takeru and Masaki, I feel like especially Masaki was like, I missed so much, It's like I missed so much of Mamoru, and then he died, and then it's like, what happened? It's like, and I think the really sad part is I didn't save this quote on my Kindle, but there's this one part where Mamoru was like, I used to hate how cold Mamoru was because how much it reminded me of Takeru, but because he died, it reminded me of Takeru's coldness reminded me of Mamoru. Something along that kind of quote, but it was so sad because it's like your her son is dead, and there's so much. It's just it's one of those things where you're not expecting it, and it's like so sad. And then I'm not gonna do all the quotes, obviously not, but it's just really sad, and I think this was so well written. That's why I gave it 5 stars, you know? And I was just very impressed with how everything kind of came to be and how, it's just the experience reading this book was terrific. And I felt like, as I read further and further and further, it just got continuously better and better. And I very much enjoyed this book. And that's like why I gave it 5 stars, just because of how good it was. I was just not expecting how great this would be at all. It was terrific, and yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna drink water. 5 stars, yeah. And this is 2 5 stars in a row that I've given my Asians Under a Typhoon books. I gave 5 for the Poppy War and 5 for the Sword of Kaigen. It was terrific. It was great. But now let's do some reading sprints. I'm really excited because I feel like I'm really busy these days, so reading is like only at night or in the morning, like in the 10-minute slot I have before going to school and everything. But the book that I'm reading is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and it's so cool. Like, look at that blue dragon. Oh my goodness. I'm on page 133 or 32, 33, and it's, by the way, this book is super thick. I'm only on 133 out of 800 oh 804, not including the glossary and the people. So I have this big of a chunk to continue, and I've only read this. So that's why I decided to do reading sprints, just because, like, this is a big book. This is a huge book. And I was like, let's just dive in And especially since I'm doing this live show alone this time, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to start a new thing on my channel, aka reading sprints. So it's going to be very cool. I'm really excited. I think we're going to be diving into 25-minute intervals, and I'm very excited. Give me a moment. I guess we're trying to figure things out. Okay, let's go to timer. I'm very excited. So let's get started. We are going to do 25 minutes intervals. 25-minute intervals. I'm really excited because I want to start just picking this up. It's just been a little bit slow, and oh my god, this page. Look at it. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna have to work on that. I didn't realize that happened. I hate when books bend. It really hurts me, especially since it's my own book, right? Oh my god, that's not the thing I want to see today. Ooh, this is gonna be a hard one to crack. I'm gonna adjust. I'm gonna have to like go here. All right, I'm gonna start the timer. I'm really excited. What I'm gonna do though is finish writing my Sword of Kaigen review because it got deleted. Don't you just hate when that happens? I do. Yeah. So let's get started. Let's start, people. I'm very excited, and I'm gonna mute my. Hold up. Woo. cool. How did everybody's sprint go? I hope it was well. I did not read, as expected. I have finished my Goodreads review, and then I was on Twitter for a little bit, but that was because I wanted to mention that I was doing reading sprints. So that's why I was on Twitter mainly, and then I'm on Notion right now adjusting my book thing. I don't know. We're still trying to figure everything out because I've just pretty much started doing the calendar view, which is pretty cool, I guess. So, I'm very excited for that. I don't know how everything is. I realized just now that today's the 10th. I don't know why I just realized, but yeah, we're gonna take a 5 minute break. 5 minute break. So get your water, drink your water, go to the bathroom, go whatever. And then I'll see you back in 5 minutes. And yeah. Cool, cool. I think this time I'm actually going to do a reading sprint. But right now I've just been clearing out my shelves. Um, I want to start condensing on my shelves just because it's a little tiring adding like new books each time. So yeah, that's just what I've been doing, you know. But I'm really excited to start our new sprint. Who's with me? I'm actually going to dive into the Priory this time, so I'm very much excited for it. So let's get started. I'm going to start the timer, and yeah, let's get started. Reset, and oh, I realized 25 minutes. Start. Let's go. Guys, that's it. Oh my goodness. So, two sprints. I'm hoping to do more live streams where we primarily like focus on like reading sprints, but it's a little bit late for me and I need to head out. But thank you guys so much for coming. So much. I had a really fun time talking about the Sword of Kaigen with you guys and starting reading sprints. I think we did what, two, I believe. But so much fun. I can't wait to do more reading sprints first off. It's going to be really exciting and I'm really excited to do more. I mean, look, I want to try reading The Priory of the Orange Tree at the end of this month at least, and it's already January 10th. I mean, I started pretty early, but that's my goal. But if we do more reading sprints, I feel like I can crack this, and that would just be simply amazing, and I'm really excited. But thank you guys so much for coming to this live stream. Loved chatting with you guys. So, see you guys uh, soon. I'm hoping to do more live streams and whatnot, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.